Hello everybody, it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos. Apologies for my silence, but I was thinking about something yesterday and I really felt I wanted to put this out there as an offering to everybody. I was feeling a bit sad about lots of different things really. I mean, the world is very challenging right now, and I was thinking about sadness and how sadness can sometimes lead to depression because we don't know how to handle the sadness, so we suppress it. And the problem is that when we suppress an emotion, we can't suppress a single emotion, we have to suppress all emotions, and hence we feel slightly like that low-grade depression. And not wanting to go into that space, I was just really examining what this feeling of sadness was about. And I realised that it wasn't sadness, it was vulnerability. Now, they have a very similar energy to them, but they're very, very different feelings. Vulnerability is a space which we're not very comfortable with a lot of times. We feel we want to control the world around us, we feel we'd like to know what's going on, we feel we like to make plans, and when we can't do that, which at the moment, because of what's happening in the world, a lot of people don't feel they can make plans, and you might be one of those people. But when we are in that space, it makes us feel vulnerable. It feels like all control has been taken away and we don't have any knowledge of what's going to happen next. And that's a really uncomfortable feeling. So what I want to do is I want to offer you an idea about vulnerability. Firstly, vulnerability can be a place of incredible strength. Because if we can own our vulnerability and allow our vulnerability and not fight our vulnerability, then what we can do is actually come from a place of, well, I'm this vulnerable, so if I can handle this, nothing can touch me. And that's a place of strength for sure. But also I'd like you to think about, what would you do if you came across a little bird, for example, that was incredibly vulnerable? What would you do for it? Well, there's a few things that come to mind. One of mine is protect it from the outside world. And so maybe think about, how can you protect yourself right now? What do you need to do in this vulnerable space, if that's where you feel you are, to protect yourself? It might mean stopping reading all the newspapers and everything that's around us right now, because it's just building on that feeling of out of control. It might mean just protecting, making sure the people and the things that you engage with are for your benefit and not going to make you feel even worse. But what else do we do for a vulnerable creature? We feed it the right foods. So look at what you're eating. Are you eating and drinking things that make you actually feel better, or do they make you feel worse? And what could you change in that way? And we also nurture vulnerable beings. We take care of them. And I think this is a time of incredible self-nurture. It's really necessary to nurture ourselves at the moment and do whatever you can. For me, nurture is very much being in water. I love swimming. As soon as I'm swimming in the sea or the lake or the river or wherever, I'm feeling better. So identify what nurtures you, what makes you feel safe effectively. And shorten the focus. When we feel vulnerable, when we don't feel in control of our outside world, we get kind of anxious and upset. So shorten the focus. What can I do today that makes me feel better? What can I handle today that makes me feel I'm slightly in control? What can I actually do that's within my circle of influence? Stephen Covey talked about circles of influence. Effective people focus within their circle of influence, and when we're feeling vulnerable, we have to do that even more. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you can feel that there's a big difference between sadness and vulnerability, and if you're feeling vulnerable, then there is something that you can do to make yourself feel better. And if I can help you in any way, you know where to find me. I'm just a phone call or an email away. So take care of yourself, and we'll speak a little sooner than we have recently. All right, take care. Bye-bye.